Welcome back to Inside Michigan Football, and as promised, I'm joined with head coach Jim Harbaugh. And Coach, now that you've had a chance to look at the film, I always kind of lead with this. We want to put it to bed.
What'd you learn?
Yeah, what'd you think about you? Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask you that because every time your team takes the field, every time they get a chance to compete, and this is the first time they've been on the road, what'd you learn about your team?
Well, it's such a great team victory that I really learned that the team cares about. They like playing with each other. They like winning for each other. A team that really cares about the other guys on the team, and they just play like that. They play like they enjoy winning together.
In the second half, because we normally start with offense, I want to start with defense today. Talk a little bit more about those guys. The last possession that Iowa had, I mean, Spencer Petras, their quarterback, was just abused by your defensive front. How much pleasure do you guys take in seeing guys step up in moments like that, making big plays?
Well, it was good to see the pressure come back. I mean, it felt like it went away for about a quarter or so. And Mike Morris and Iyabi both single-handedly, I mean, 4 plays, either they were sacking the quarterback or pressuring him into making an incompletion or an early throw. So it was good to have that back, and coordinate the coverage. Got tighter. When it needed to. It was good to see. And that was it was like that the first part of the game, and then there at the end when you really needed it.
Yeah, and Mike Morris is going to join me this week on the In the Trenches podcast. And one of the things that he talked about was it's been a couple of plays here and there over the past couple of years. Last year, he got another chance to step up his production. This year, he's on the field quite a bit. Just can you tell us a little bit of what you've seen in his growth here at Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, just very strong player. Very, really good against the run, and to see him get the push and be able to get some bend around the offensive tackle and create that pass rush. Great to see. It was just after the game. I saw Big Mike Senior, and Melanie Morris, and it was just he didn't have to say anything. It was just we know. It's big hug. They were as happy as could be, so proud, and it was we see it, and he's playing a real. He's like most players. I mean, emotional. Playing with people playing and coach this game. It's emotional. Yeah. Emotional people that play and coach this game. And just see him. Kind of letting it out and letting it rip is great to see. And there's been consistency in his game, and just to as you said, more production and on a consistent basis. Just have at it. Keep letting it rip that way.
For Iowa, their big-time receivers were obviously their 2 tight ends, Laporta and Lachey, a couple of really quality tight ends. What type of challenges did you guys see, and what type of adjustments did you make, whether it was linebackers or safeties, on those guys later in the game?
It was important that we get some man-to-man coverage on them, and I thought when we did that, we had success. And when the pass rush was coordinated and the coverage was tight, then we were covering them up pretty good. We got some of the underneath coverage. We missed a couple zone drops and left some seam openings. And as you said, that's a big target. Both of them found some of those openings, and the quarterback did a nice job of finding them. We won the game. We feel great about that, and we also feel great about just all the opportunities to improve. Nobody's taking a deep, long bow or patting each other on the back because, we see it. All areas that the team can improve, and we're genuinely excited about that. That there's more here. There's more meat on the bone, and let's get it all.
Jamon Green in the secondary. Early on this season, he was tested against a couple of the air raid offenses, and in my estimation, just looking from afar, his physicality, his technique is so much improved over the last couple of years? Is he one of the guys that you look at and say, you know what, he's got to be one of the most improved players on this defense?
Yeah, there's probably a few of them that would be deserving of having that category of most improved. He's certainly off to a really good start this season. And again, I mean, you look at that and go, yeah, and there's more there. You know, we let him get inside in a couple of in cuts. Mike Sammer still had outside leverage and a sail route and went for one of those little moves and lost that outside leverage. Just stuff. It's just stuff like that. Junior had a drop where he's a little bit out of place on the zone drop. So as good as we feel, like I just convey that we're happy about it. I mean, it's we won, and that's a great win for our team. But also, it's just in this race to chase perfection that you'll never get. But we want to find excellence, and I think our guys are just hungry for that. Back on the practice field today to find any little way to improve, individually and collectively as a team.
Just a couple of questions about injuries. Nikhai Hill-Green is yet to see the field this year. How's his recovery coming? Is he expected to be back soon?
He's working through it. Just because I come on the John Jansen podcast doesn't mean I'm just not in a position to talk about guys and their health. Well, I weekly say that, and I weekly get asked. So I just once again for probably the fifth straight week. That's just not something that like you would want me talking about your son and his football health, and so I mean just
excited to see him. So I know you are as well.
Huh?
I just
talk to him. Talk to him. I mean, talk directly to him, John. And you say you're just asking. I'm just answering. I can't answer that question. That's not something that I'm at liberty to discuss.
All right. Where do you want to see, as you mentioned, the pursuit of perfection? Where do you want to see the next step for your defense?
Tighter zone coverage when we get into those zone drops. I mean, latching on to guys that come into zone and covering up some of those seams and holes that occurred on the dig routes and the in-breaking routes. And that pass rush, just keep coming. No doubt we're getting some real good play from the inside guys and the outside guys. And that's when that gets grooved, when that's just really humming, when everybody's just, down after down with numbing repetition. You're seeing that is where we see where we can get to, and that's what we're doing, chasing perfection. As I said, you just hope to attain excellence.
Well, we'll be back in just a couple of moments to talk about the other side of the ball as well as special team. Tonight's show is brought to you by Meijer, presenting sponsor of the 2022 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. This is Inside Michigan Football from Learfield. Welcome back to Inside Michigan Football, joined again by head coach Jim Harbaugh. And, Coach, it was J.J. McCarthy's first start on the road. How'd you think he handled the environment, the moment, the situation?
I thought he did really good. We thought, he was one of the top performers on the offensive side of the ball and on the team. I thought he did a great job of taking what they gave him. He only really missed one throw, the deep throw to Roman. Could have put a little bit more air on it. He kind of threw more of a flatter ball than he would have liked to have. But just handling the environment, the snap count, the cadence, the alignments, the checks, really good for being in that kind of environment for the first time playing the entire game.
Then you had Donovan Edwards back. What does he add when he's a part of the game day proceedings?
Well, he saved our bacon on the one, for sure. When he jumped on that fumble, it turned into a 21-yard loss, but did not result in a turnover. Just a great heads-up play by him. He gave us added some real good runs in the running game, and made a nice couple catches out of the backfield, including a touchdown from JJ. He's just a lot of energy. He's only a sophomore, but he's very much a leadership presence on and off the field. On the whole trip. He just makes you feel optimistic when he's around. I feel optimistic when he's around, and he's got that deep voice, that loud voice, and he just affects a lot of people, including me, in a positive way.
And he makes some things look so easy. It's when some running backs come out of the backfield, it seems like it's a circus trying to catch the ball. And Donovan, there was one where he was coming out on your sideline out of the backfield in the flat, and the ball was right where it's supposed to be, but he's looking over his left shoulder and just picks it out of thin air. I mean, he really makes those catches look easy.
You are so right.
That's not an easy catch.
No, a lot of people would struggle with that. Only the real good athletes and guys with really good ball skills can make that kind of play look that easy, and he does that. He's just you say I like guys who like football, and Donovan loves football. I love Donovan, and it's in the way the way it attacks everything and the way he approaches the game. I mean, he is. If there's somebody having more fun out there, in practice or in the games, I mean, there's maybe a few guys that are as much as he is, but he just genuinely has a lot of fun playing the game.
Another great performance by Blake Corum. I mean, short yardage, on the edge, in the air. I mean, that last touchdown, right? He gets a linebacker one-on-one, and that linebacker had no chance. When a guy starts to get in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy, his name has been mentioned. It's starting to work its way in there. It's well-earned. How do you handle, just like last year with Aiden Hutchinson, how do you handle those conversations about expectations that they have for themselves and the pressure they may be putting on themselves?
That's a great question. It's a real healthy way. I mean, I think I guess I just don't worry about that. I mean, he always has really high expectations.
Yeah.
He has since he's walked onto this campus, but he does it in a really calm, cool, collected way as well. I mean, it's just it's almost like he doesn't. It's like a smile, But now he's added this getting up on the second level and making somebody miss. Because he can do that at the first level, make the shallow cut, get up close to a defender, and then make a miss. But yeah, that's that one where in the now at the second level, 5 yards deep, and you're right. I mean, he had a big hole, and there was somebody right in the middle of it, but. That guy didn't know whether to wind his watch or what to do. He just
kind of got lost. Almost feel a little bit bad for him.
Well,
not quite.
That kind of thing when he can get up on the second level and the safeties and the corner's got a beat on him. If he can get by that second level and turn the 10-yard gain into the 40 or 50-yard gain, that's it's coming. You saw it this past Saturday. So. Another thing that's good to look forward to in his game. Also, he also looks better to me. The more reps he gets, the more touches he gets. He shows no signs of any fatigue or anything.
Is he a back that needs more reps as the game goes on? We've seen great runs in the second half by him. The third or fourth and short against Maryland, the 3rd and 4 that he ended up taking for a touchdown, and then obviously this week the one in the fourth quarter. Is he one of those guys that as the game wears on, he just gets more and more comfortable and needs some of those touches?
I wouldn't say he needs it because we see him be so good in the first quarter. Rush for a bunch of yards on only 10 carries or 12 carries. So I don't think he needs it, but I don't think it phases him either. If it's, as we saw with 30 carries, or 25 carry once he gets past 20. And there's some backs that are like that. I mean, if you get past 20 carries, I mean, there's nothing left there in a tank in the game. But, the real special ones can go 25, 30 carries and look like they're getting even stronger and better.
The offensive line, I thought it was maybe their best performance. How would you grade their performance? A lot of third and shorts, a fourth and short. Protection seemed to be a little bit tighter. Your thoughts on the growth of the offensive line?
I think you're right. I think that was their best game. Collectively as a unit, individually, I mean, there was some really outstanding play. Zinter and Olu, the way they worked together. Trente, I thought he had his best game, and that's the third week in a row I've thought that. Great to have Trevor Keegan back. I think he makes a big difference. And we were talking about how good Gio was doing, and really pleased with Gio. But it's even better with Trevor in there, and Ryan Hayes has just been real steady as can be. And collectively, them all playing together is starting to gel.
And Scooney, another great performance in the pass game.
Yeah, and I always thought Scooney was really good, but he's playing even better than I thought he was. He'll be a really good pro tight end, and keep her going. Keep it going, Scooney. It's somebody that really I think JJ is really comfortable with and knows that he can look almost that security blanket type of receiver, and blocking so good. Blocking really good on the perimeter. He's blocking really good in line. He's blocking really good inserting, man on man, in the man schemes, the zone schemes. He's just really blocking well and running fast. I mean, he's doing everything that you could really ask for, and he's doing it with same attention to detail that you always see out of Luke Schoonmaker. I mean, he's a real pro already in his approach and his preparation.
A second road trip this year. You guys are going to head down to Bloomington, Indiana, take on the Hoosiers. What can you tell us about what you guys face down in Bloomington?
They're going to been throwing the ball a lot. Quarterback, they have a lot of trust in him. Really good arm that can throw it to all parts of the field. The running back's got 300 and some yards, and they're not running it near as much. So it's got to be a pretty good average that he has. He's a real patient runner. Gets behind their offensive line and almost sometimes looks like it's a draw play, every play.
Yeah.
As he's patiently waiting for the hole to open up. Defensively, they're really good. They mix things up a lot. I mean, different than Iowa, but it's a tough-minded defense, hard-hitting defense. But there's a lot more looks. Iowa, I kind of got a good feeling what they're playing, or it's this or that. But a lot of different looks from Indiana. So the preparation is going to have to be on point, and to be able to identify the looks pre-snap, and then also be able to read once the ball has been snapped. So really good challenge in all phases this week.
Well, Coach, best of luck and safe travels down to Bloomington, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, John.